Good evening, fillies and gentlecolts, ladies and gentlemen. This is PMV Today host Synergy. Today we're going to be interviewing a particularly awesome PMV artist, PMV editor, by the name of EpicDarkWizard, aka Wizard. Wizard, you here?
Yeah, hey.
Hey, all right. Glad that we could finally get you. So, I have to really applaud you. You seem to have, what really brought your work to my attention in the first place was how you have that uniqueness. You seem to combine typography with your PMV video, which is really great because there's a lot of PMVs out there, and you have to do something to shine. Two or three I can think of off the top of my head was your PMV Good Times, DJ, and Feel Again. Ladies and gentlemen, Wizard is best known for his video Wanna Work, which is a contribution to Scatman John Fad, which was started by another PMV artist, Suhabul. Anyhow, I think I'd have to also praise him for his concrete and linear style. He tends to have his PMVs far more linear than abstract, such as the PMVs Ink or Dork. I think without further ado, we're going to get straight into the questions. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, excellent. So, what about the show inspired you to make PMVs?
There's just something so really surreal about it, kind of magical, and just something special that I haven't really experienced with anything else. And so when I saw that, and when I saw the community of people doing stuff with the show, it made me kind of feel the need to participate in some way.
All right, and you did that with PMVs.
Yeah.
All right, excellent. And okay, excellent. So, what were your influences?
For starting or for just
What were your influences that made you want to start doing the PMVs in the first place, or before you started PMV making?
When I first got into the fandom, I went to Equestria Daily a lot, and I would just kind of go through every single post of PMVs and just watch them again and again. And sometimes the music would be what would get me into it, but in the end, I started realizing that I just really enjoyed these PMVs, and they weren't like anything special. Like really, that was back in fall of 2011, I think.
Okay.
So there wasn't really any heavily edited PMVs back then. But so it wasn't the technical side of it that impressed me. It was more of the just kind of the way it felt. It's kind of hard to describe, but it's something that it just really inspired me. All these different videos of all these different songs and the way that people combined them. It was just something that was really cool, and I just kind of wanted to mimic that and see if I could do it myself. So.
Oh, okay. Did you do any sort of music video makings in general before you joined the fandom, or before that?
Nothing. I had never opened Windows Movie Maker before joining the fandom. So.
Inspiration is a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, really.
Okay, awesome. So, 5 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, I had mentioned what every PMV artist, to shine, to get on this interview, is they have to establish some sort of uniqueness. I'm just going to quickly run you through a few quick things. So, your technical choices, as in, more based off of the whole fact of linear and concrete and not more abstract, as I mentioned before, like Dork and Ink. Why do you choose your particular technical choices?
Any technical choice that I've made has kind of been the product of just a style that I've been developing since I started, moving through learning different techniques and different editing softwares, and it's just kind of built video after video. And every video I try and learn something new. And somehow in doing that, I kind of ended up doing what I'm doing now. And that came partially from that and from just kind of seeing other people's videos and seeing how if I imitated their style, what I would end up with when I combined it with the things that you mentioned. And it created my own style that way. So, yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, it does shine. Yeah, absolutely. That's really good. That's good. All right. So, thematic choices. So you're not playing death metal on your PMVs. You seem to have do you have any particular reason why you choose particular themes or particular songs instead of
a particular genre? Yeah.
Yeah, particular genre.
It really just comes down to what I'm feeling at the time. It could be something like. With a video like Sweet Apple Acres, it could be just a song that I heard from the fandom and I really enjoy. With something like Good Time, it could be like I just feel really happy for some reason, and it just inspires me to make something that's happy, and hopefully that makes other people happy when they watch it. And so that was kind of the inspiration behind that. It just depends on whatever song I'm listening to. So And sometimes I try and take, like with the season finale, the way it had Twilight kind of going through that transformation, and Feel again, I really tried to take that and kind of find a song. So I actually found the song for the video and kind of make it into something that told that story in a different way.
Okay.
So it just really depends.
All right, so that would bounce off of what I was going to ask you next, your character choices. So you'd said, I suppose the character choices are relevant to the PMV you're working on, to what the song that you've chosen is giving to you, what you feel. But I've also found a preference on Applejack.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, all right. So, I was looking through your videos. I looked through your top 10 videos, and I didn't really spot any true common trends. But so instead of asking about common trends, I'm thinking I'm going to ask you about this one of my favorite videos from you. Your collaboration, I Write Sins Not Ponies, with My Little Brony. Was that the correct name?
Yes, that is.
All right. Do you have any plans to do any more future collaborations? I had noticed on your description that you said it took a lot of effort and a lot of time.
It did, and it's kind of, I guess working with someone else is just kind of so different than working with just by yourself, because you kind of have to think about what they're going to do and how you're going to combine your parts and what sort of things you're going to do to make sure that the style is similar throughout. And that one was just really fun to do, yeah. But yeah, I do definitely have some future collaborations going down. Hopefully some, it kind of takes, the planning is the tough part for that, getting everyone together and getting them to do that. But I've got some more big collaborations with a group called My Little Collabs.
Okay.
We did let's see, we did one video a couple months ago called what was it called? Sorry.
That's absolutely fine. If you don't recall, we can go over that and come back later.
All right, yeah.
All right, sure. Let's move on quickly now. So let's see. I would like to talk a little bit about. Okay, so did it take a very long time to complete, or no? Maybe a better question would be: is that personally, I've had the opportunity to collaborate with some people in the writing world. How does a PMV collaboration exactly work out? Like, how do you do one of those?
It depends. It could be as simple as, actually, the first time I did one was with My Little Brony as well. And now that was a long time ago, and the way we kind of did it was just like, all right, so here's my part, here's your part, let's go. And then we just threw them together, and it kind of made it a little bit choppy in the styles. And so PMV collaboration can either be like that, or it could be the other extreme where you're kind of, every person is kind of, or the two people usually, are going to be looking at each piece and trying to get it to all fit together. So it's more of you're all working on the whole song instead of just you divide up the parts. So it could go either way.
Okay, and when you were collaborating with I Write Sins Not Ponies, what was that more leaning towards?
That was leaning more towards the former, the sort of divided up. You could probably see that My Little Brony's part is a little bit, he concentrated more on things like effects and just kind of the overall style with kind of the desaturation and the blue.
Yes.
And for me, I tried to go with a bit more of a just kind of not many effects at all, just more good timing, get some transitions in there, and I think it came together well, but you can definitely see the differences in our styles from that.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of your style, I did notice that while watching through your PMVs that, you seem to use the world that the song, the scene or whatever that's overlaying your song, and kind of adding your segments, your little clips that are going to help with your PMV into that. For example, Always a Good Time, I think. When the girls start singing, or Good Times, when the girls start singing, you show the typography on the sun and then the moon. I just found it was interesting that you use the scene to. I'm getting off topic. I can't fully complete with that question. Let's continue on. All right, so what do you plan to do in the future?
In the future,
yes.
Let's see. Short term, I've got, a bunch of projects that I'm working on, trying to get finished. And usually I start a bunch of things and I can't finish anything, but it'll keep going. I don't have any plans to change what I'm doing. More collabs, more PMVs by myself, and just keep progressing technically and trying all kinds of new styles, and just keep with the PMVs because I love doing it. So
you're going to be around for a bit longer then?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's really good to hear. All right. So any difficulties that you've encountered, and how have you overcome them? And we can be talking about writer's block, inspiration, or the technical side of things.
Okay, definitely. All of those things have been issues. When I first started learning, it was really hard for me to. I would look at other people's videos and I would compare them to mine and say, why can't I do some? Why can't I make something that's as good as this? And it made it really hard. It kind of cut my inspiration and just made me kind of feel like it wasn't as fun as it could be.
Mhm.
But eventually, I got over that and I kind of just stopped doing that, and that helped me to progress. And another thing is that when I started meeting more people, more PMV editors, more just people in the community who I could talk to, it made it go a lot better because I could bounce ideas off of people.
Mm.
Like now when I work on something, it seems like every 30-second piece of something that I complete, I have it up, unlisted to show someone, one of my friends, to get feedback on it, and it just makes it go so much smoother. And when I first started, I wasn't social enough to go out and look for that help, and so it made the process pretty painful to get to, the technical level that I wanted to be at.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right, that's cool, and and that's so true. The great thing about being in a fandom is that everyone's like-minded. We all love the show My Little Pony, and all it takes is for you to go out there and ask someone you want to do collaboration. What do you think of my work? And it's amazing what comes out of that. I mean, that's the reason I'm, PMV host here, because
Yeah.
just because of that. And that's why you've bettered your own PMV abilities, because you went out there and you learned that showing things to other people and talking to other people is a really good way to go.
Yeah, and I just like to say thank you to My Little Brony, just officially, because he was the one who came to me for that first collab before the one we were talking about a long, long time ago. And if he hadn't done that, I never would have met anyone in this fandom, and I don't know where I would be now in my editing, probably nowhere near as far. So it's thanks to him for coming to me and asking me to collab with him.
That's nice.
Hmm.
All right, so what do you plan to do? Forgive me. Which is the hardest project you've worked on that you can think of?
Ooh, the hardest project. Let's see. That's kind of a hard question. It's because it's different. There's hard videos that are hard technically, trying to do some sort of effect, and there are hard videos that are difficult because you don't have inspiration. And I've kind of felt both of those. I guess the hardest video that I've worked on would probably be, I would say probably Feel Again, more for the technical reason, because it was so, there were so many new things in it with things like 3D camera motion that I hadn't really tried before, and so I had to figure those out. But the good news with that was that it went very well on the inspiration side, so I never really had to kind of sit there staring at it like, all right, what do I do now? I've got no idea. But it was
Sorry, you're
project.
lighting up for a second. Do you mind repeating that?
Which part of it?
Just the section, the last 10 seconds.
Just that it was the hardest video that I've worked on, just for the reason of the technical challenges of it, not the inspiration, which I was very inspired for that.
And which one? Sorry, what was that? Which
For
PMV?
Feel Again?
Feel Again.
Yes.
Ah, all right, all right. Okay, that's excellent. Let's see. Okay, so I was talking to you earlier. You didn't say you didn't have much of a story behind your username.
Nope.
So let's see. How'd you get into editing? I suppose I was already asked in the beginning. We seem to be wrapping up exactly what I had to ask you. If you want to add anything else as potentially an inspirational, comment to the people who are following the live stream right now, or if you have any, your 2 bits to throw in, that would be the time before we get the audience to ask some questions.
Okay, well, I'd really like to say, like, don't make the same mistakes I did. If you're just starting making PMVs or you need help, ask for it. Don't try and just go it on your own, because you're not going to get nearly as far, and some amazing things can happen if you go out and just put yourself out there and get to know people. And it's been a really amazing experience. So, yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's see. I'm trying to. You know what? I'm trying to think of some extra questions we can ask, because how long has this live stream been going on for? I haven't been keeping
A
track.
little less than 15.
A little less than 15. We'll have to add some more questions. And ladies and
All right.
gentlemen, this is a test run, obviously, or more so the first one. You're going to find some stuttering. You're going to find some awkward time spans. But, we're going to be trying to average out around half an hour each live stream. Let's see. Okay. I want to go back just for a second then, since we have a bit more time.
Yeah.
And, okay, so why did you choose to combine the skill of typography, which I've seen full videos based off of, and with your PMV editing? Why did you want to do that?
Well, it came from like first of all, that when I have maybe there's lyrics that I don't know how I would fit that into a scene from the show, I
Mhm.
might use those use that as an opportunity to try and fit in topography somewhere, so I don't have to work too hard trying to get something in the show to kind of fit where it doesn't belong.
Mhm.
And also, it's just kind of the way that I've just kind of been inspired by both topographies and full PMVs, and it's just kind of my way of putting them together and trying to make something that is really in where I like to see things. So it's kind of a combination, yeah.
Oh, all right, cool. Did you have any particular individuals that you were inspired by? I know you'd said that, just looking at PMVs and everyone you could find, but do you have any particular individuals that really inspired you?
Um, let's see. Back when I started, let's see. The Stars Will Aid in Her Escape by Mandarin Orange was
Mm.
just a video that really blew me away, absolutely, and so I really thank him for that. Other than that, there's just so many people who have inspired me throughout with all their videos. Pretty much all the editors that I've met, and it's so difficult. I don't really want to name people because it's going to be, I'm going to forget people, and because there's so many, people that have helped me. I don't want to miss any names, but
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. All right, excellent. You know what? That seems to be the end of today's interview. Thank you so much for taking the time to 15 minutes of time, but we did get to talk a bit before that,
yeah.
to be part of the interview. And for people who are following the interview at the moment, I promise we'll have most definitely longer episodes as we go and re-look at our questions to ask. Thank you very much, guys. I'm Synergy, PMV host and interviewer, and you had just finished listening to the PMV Editors live interview. Have a nice night.
Thanks, guys.